You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl, and it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again, and you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Hello. Today we're starting a new Zomboid related series, and the topic of choice is going to be Zomboid mods. There is well over 1,000 mods for Zomboid out there, and they can't all be winners. So let's start taking a look at these magnificent modifications and these awful alterations to find what's worth your time and will enhance your experience. We'll start simple today and take a look at a handful of quality of life improvement mods. Once again, thank you Kato for your lovely artwork. Now let's begin the video, shall we? First up is the Show XP mod, created by a player named Cadius, and they get bonus points for having a bird as their profile picture. This is a simple but brilliant addition to the game. You know how when you use a TV and it tells you what skill the show is giving? Well, this mod applies that to every action that earns XP. Sneaking around? Watch as your light-footed, sneaking, and nimble go up. In combat, watch as your weapon of choice, fitness, strength, and maintenance rise. Above your head in a white text string will be whatever skill you earned and how much XP that action earned you. I personally have found this to be very useful during my researching and testing of the game to write my beginner's guide. This little mod is a very useful addition to any survivor's arsenal, as knowledge is power. Next up the bat is its companion mod, that being the Show Level Up mod. Created by the same creator as the previous mod, this mod solves an issue introduced by build 41. In earlier builds, when you would earn XP, you would have to use skill points in a skill to level it up once you've reached the proficiency with that skill. It used to indicate which skill just leveled up, so you had to allocate the point. With the latest build, that system was removed, and skills level up automatically. So with this mod, whenever you level up, just like the XP mod, a white string of text will appear above your head, telling you exactly which skill just leveled up. So you don't have to examine all your skills and be like, what the hell just went up? I find these two mods go together hand in hand, and I recommend you use them both together. Now the next mod is related to combat, that being the combat text mod. Created by Resistor, this mod basically shows a zombie's health bar whenever you attack them in any manner. It'll show how much damage you do with each swing, stab, or stomp, which is really useful for testing various weapon damage levels, and how much leveling up affects damage output. It's also been useful in showing how effectively negative debuffs like exertion nerf your damage output as well. The bar will eventually fade after about 10 in-game minutes of you not hitting the target, so you won't permanently have a bar that blazes above their head. Overall, this mod's a very useful addition to any player's arsenal, especially if you like to know exactly how close something is to dying. The next mod is probably the most extensive mod of the bunch. This is the Minimal Display mod created by ATPHHE. This little baby shows all the relevant stats to survival that a player could use. It shows health, hunger, thirst, endurance, fatigue, boredom, unhappiness, temperature, and calories. If you don't want one of these displayed in bar form, you can always disable an individual bar by right-clicking and hitting hide. With health, it has a few other features, such as whenever you get hurt, it'll turn orange or even red once you get more damaged. And if you have one of several severe wounds, or are suffering from something such as starvation, thirst, bleach, poisoning, regular poisoning fever, and more, the bars are also able to be manipulated at any time in a variety of ways, such as where they are located, how they are displayed, and if they are displayed at all. Truly a fantastic and in-depth mod with a simple but ingenious premise. Kudos to the mod creator. The next two mods are really simple and similar in goal, that being the Skill Books Recolor mod by Sarog and the Book Collection mod by Mecha. They both seek to solve the problem of skill books being too similar. Sarog's mod chooses to go about it by recoloring and giving new sprites to the books, which help distinguish them from one another. And Mecha's mod chooses to solve the problem of not knowing which book is for which skill level, by renaming each book to include Volume X, X being the number that corresponds to the skill level it's meant for. So beginners is now Volume 1 for dummies, and so on. Both are nice quality changes that could go nicely with one another, and help with organizing your library. Coming up next is an always useful minimap mod created by ERIS, useful for those learning the map, those who get lost easily, or those who just want to know their way around the map easier without having to guess or find a major landmark to know where you are and which direction to go in without having to pause the game and go to the Project Zomboid map project. Or for those who just don't want to fuck around with the in-game map. This is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a minimap mod. This gives you a nice top-down or isometric map that gives you a good idea of the local area and gives you a huge pile of options. By default, the mod shows zombie locations on the map, as well as other players, safe houses, vehicles, showing radio locations, and more. It's a really in-depth and very useful minimap. I like the fact you can toggle all the things the show on or off to tailor it more closely to your preferred style of gameplay. Like say maybe you want to turn off zombies because you don't want the surprise of where they are being ruined for you. Or maybe turn off vehicle locations. Another nice feature is the ability to set waypoints. Really useful if you lose track of which house is your base or your fallback base. Overall, it's an excellent and versatile map mod that'll come in handy in a variety of ways. Blazing its way in next is the Cremation mod by Mose. Got too many zombies lying around rotting up the place? Need to clean house before you get sick? Don't want to waste your precious gasoline to burn the bodies though, or precious time burying them, or throwing them out back and letting them rot away from the home? If this sounds like a problem for you, then consider using this mod. This baby will let you drag corpses to a campfire, right-click add fuel, and add the zombie itself into the fire as precious fuel for your bonfire. Imagine if you could do that in Dark Souls. Just don't go to Hollow and toss their corpse into the bonfire. But yeah, it's a nice simple solution to a problem that could be an irritation to handle, especially in the cases where the bodies are just excessive. I think that's enough tinker around with these mods for today. You should have a good few mods on your radar now if you didn't have them on before. I hope you've enjoyed this new video format. I hope you continue to support the channel. Let me know your thoughts down below. This has been Core, and I'll see you in the next video.